If you play Nobi or extend just to survive, you're already losing. Strong Go players don't use Nobi or extend to escape. They use it for control, territory, defense, and offense. Today I'll show you how to use extend or Nobi like a weapon. I will hand you the weapon of Nobi or extension and teach you how to use it in your actual games so you no longer play like a scared puppy and dominate the Go board like a genius. Let's start with the defensive Nobi, where you're under attack, you're under pressure, and you need to find a way to stabilize your group. A lot of Q players panic here when white plays this move. They either play dumb shapes or they go too far and get killed. Here in this position, how can black handle this weakness? Black can use a simple extension or a Nobi back to the safety of the other stones, connect them together while also making territory. This move is a reinforcement. A stronger Nobi will be descending on b4. This move creates even more territory and also threatens to enter white's corner. So either one of these Nobis gives your group the strength it needs right now so it can counter attack later. Now in this position, white's next move played here. If you tenuki and just make your own territory, white can simply Atari, go down, and all of a sudden, these 4 stones are in critical condition. They are about to die. Since black didn't handle this group properly, white was able to capture and capitalize on black's weakness. So what should black do here? If you play a move like connect, okay, it's not that bad, but this is not the most efficient move. This move looks like a beginner. You see a cutting point, you connect it. It's a very beginner, but in this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the weapon of a Nobi and how you can play very solid Go. So in this situation, black can just simply extend. And here you might ask me, hey, wait a minute, what if white cuts over here and all of a sudden, these 2 stones and these 2 stones are cut apart? Exactly, and that's why you're asking this question. Because now, what can black do when white cuts? Black can simply capture white in a ladder. You bozo. This extension naturally reinforced this cutting point and naturally made sure black's position is solid and safe and there are no weaknesses. And if white, in this case, pushes one more time, you can use one more Nobi, one more extension, and all of a sudden, look at this shape, look at this group. It is completely strong and solid. It has territory, the shape is stabilized, and you have a solid base. Now, white is going to bump your stone over here and try to attack these 3 stones. What can you do? If you simply connect these stones back together, white can simply double hane and completely crush black's position. Now black's position, black's stones, have so much weakness. So in this case, the strongest defense in this move is a Nobi. What can white do? Ooh, white can cut! Yeah, let him cut! Block on the outside, and all of a sudden, because you have this Nobi, or the Nobi, this cut, once again, gets killed in a ladder. I don't need to play it out. You can see the ladder. So this extension increases your strength for these stones, connects your weakness back to this group which already has a base. But here white can try one more thing. White can bump over here. And you might ask, oh, easy. White's wanting to enter my territory here. Ha! I know the answer. So I just Nobi and extend over here, right? So I can protect my territory. No. This is a mistake. Huge mistake. White can once again jump out and attack your weakness. This was white's plan the whole time. So the right way to handle this bump is to Nobi and extend up here. You want to make sure your stone seals white in whilst connecting your weakness. This Nobi reinforces the weakness, solidifies your corner, protects your base, and at the same time seals white in. Moving on to our final 3 positions for defensive Nobi. White hanes over here. threatening this weak stone. If you play somewhere else, white can simply Atari, push up, and all of a sudden white just had a massive territory. So what should you do here to play defensive? Yes, you should extend. If white pushes, you can extend one more time, and all of a sudden you play very defensive Go. Your stones are very solid and strong. There's no weaknesses. These cards end up being dead in a net. Or you can just simply ladder these stones to this corner. Now white pushes up on this side. What can you do? If you be aggressive drunk monkey and Hana is over here, then white gonna cut and your shape might get slaughtered, right? Maybe you can handle this situation, but it's not gonna be comfortable. It won't be a defensive play. The safe move is to Nobi extend. Extending your two stones and increasing your thickness and solidifying your shape and position. Okay, white pushes one more. You think, I get it, easy. I can build territory. Let me Hane over here. Good job. You've got drunk like a monkey, and all of a sudden, your two stones are weak and they're going to die. The right move here, because you have the weakness of the two stones, you want to make sure you solidify and save the weakness before you go into the fight and before you go to anything aggressive. So the safe move and the defensive move here is to extend. Nobi. You extend, now you have three stones. You increased your base, right? You increase your base, you're going into and trying to connect back to your group. If they push once more, you can extend one more. Now you have four stones. If they push one more, now you can Hane. Now moving on to the offensive Nobi or extension. Black just cut over here and white simply ignored. Now, how can black utilize the weakness of white and create a threat? The answer is extend Nobi. This extension strengthens your one stone and creates two threats. Threat number one, black is aiming to capture the stone in a ladder. Threat number two, black is threatening to net these two stones. If white runs away, you simply net. If white goes over here, you simply capture the stone in a ladder. And because you have this Nobi, you have this extension, now both the ladder and the neck work beautifully in your favor. Now here is another position. White just ran away from the Atari and black cannot capture these three stones in a ladder. So what can you do? If you don't do anything, my friend, your two stones are gonna die, okay? So the answer here is, now these two black stones are very weak. If we ladder them and just Atari like this, yeah, it might work, but white can just simply run away and escape. The most ideal way, you use the weapon I just gave you, the Nobi, the extension. You extend over here. This move threatens two things, netting the three stones at A and pushing down at B. Now what can white do? White's puzzled. White's probably just crying emotionally. And white have nothing to do. What can white do? Okay, white wants to save the two stones by connecting over here. You simply net. Three stones are dead. Your two stones that were once weak became a hero. If white pushes up, now you can simply push this way. Now look at these two stones. It has two liberties, right? If white does anything going down, keep pushing, and all of these four stones are dead. Offensive Nobi is when you're chasing your opponents while also strengthening your own weakness. It gives you solid shape while building pressure to your opponents and forcing them to make some bad responses. Finally, let's talk territory, the most important thing in Go. So in this situation, white just played the tiger's mouth. If black plays somewhere else, white can simply Atari, go down, and all of a sudden, white has stole black's base. Black doesn't have a base anymore. Black's base is cut in half by white. So in this situation, if black wants to solidify the base of the territory and secure his own territory, black should make an extension or Nobi. Now this cut, once again, from previously examples in this video, this cut does not work. because you have the Nobi, you can capture the stone in a ladder on the side of the board. So this Nobi is critical for maintaining your territory and stabilizing your base. A few moves later, white threatens black one more time. If you play somewhere else, by like for example securing the corner, white can honey on the second line. You cannot double honey because your stone will get captured and you will lose the corner. And if you retreat, then boom, white just stole your corner and your territory in Sente. This is a time to secure your territory, increase it, and also solidifying your base. So in this situation, black must descend or play a Nobi on M10. This move strengthens this entire corner, blocks white from entering your territory, and at the same time, the cherry on the icing, black is threatening to enter white's territory. White just played over here. If black plays somewhere else, white can honey, and look at black's territory. It only has about 9 points, and white has so many points over here. Black must play the Nobi and descend over here. Now black has solid 12 to 15 points, and white still needs another move. A territorial Nobi basically says, no, you do not get to enter my territory. This is my territory and I get to control it, unless you want to fight. So if white wants to fight right now by cutting, because you have a Nobi, you've solidified your territory and reinforced your position. Now you can simply fight against white. And white's 2 stones only has 2 liberties and has no chance against black's 4 liberties. Moving to the top position, white does an extension over here and threatens black weakness. This shape came from the classical 3-4 Joseki. Kick, extend, and going over here. So now it's black's turn to play. If black plays somewhere else, white can threaten black severely. White can squeeze over here. Aims to cut at J11 and L11. If black saves the corner, white gets the outside thickness and the mojo. If black saves this turn, white cuts this stone and your corner is gone. So what can black do? This shape is a single digit Q level. If we simply connect over here, yeah, you did solve the problem, but your shape looks like it got punched in the head and he's crying in the toilet because it looked so dumb. So you want to play a more beautiful and a more elegant shape. Play the Nobi, descend over here. This move is peak efficiency. Okay? This move saves the corner. If white threatens one more time, now you save the outside. And because you have the Nobi over here, if white cuts, you can capture white in a ladder to the corner of the board. So this shape claims your territory in the corner and at the same time saves both of your weaknesses. And as a bonus, it threatens to enter white's territory down this way. Ladies and gentlemen, so the next time you think Nobi is just a basic move, remember this. Den players and professional players use Nobi or extension with a purpose and with intention. They either build territory, defend, or attack. Nobi is a simple shape, but it is a master and genius level flow. So learn this Heimer and positional play, and you will never play passively again.